Hello, my name is METİN. This is 170th part of explanation of my theory. According to my theory, electron volt cannot be unit of energy. There are deep contradictions here. Duane-Hunt formula, Duane-Hunt Law formula for applied voltage, applied accelerated electrons, lambda minimum formula. It is incoherent and wrong law. Snapshot here. This is Duane-Hunt Law formula, and its final state here. Here is big contradiction because of lambda is wavelength. Here, upside angstrom, wavelength unit, downside voltage. How can angstrom unit lambda min has angstrom divided by voltage? It must be only angstrom, you see. And another contradiction is that unit problem. Duane-Hunt Law has incoherent unit problem. This is the clue of I have put forth electron volt cannot be energy unit. There are deep problems because of for an electron only one mass defined, only one energy defined, and wrongly. Left side, EV, its unit is electron volt. Right side, H multiplied by C divided by lambda is obviously this side's unit is joule. Kilogram meter, yes, kilogram meter square divided by second square, joule. That must not be same here. If 1 EV is equal to 1.602 10 to the minus joule, you must write this formula like this. EV is equal to HC divided by lambda min multiplied by this. For voltage, electric potential accelerated electron motion form, I have this formula. snapshot again. Here. Remember, this is my constant. $1,248. Once upon a time, I have wrote this as 1,227. Okay, no problem. 1,248. This is lambda n minus delta lambda. Remember my formula. Here, energy formula, 1 of is equal to hc square n square lambda n c minus electron motion forms velocity cosine alpha, or h vc square divided by lambda n vg minus v cosine here. Yes. At the rate of increasing electron velocity, delta lambda will increase, then it's in the, say, zero direction of electron motion form. I have told you before, electron motion form is, if it is relocating, its wavelengths will be very variable, its point energies will be variable, and an isotropic in the direction of 0 degree, here I use, will be larger than in the direction of 0 degree. Wave velocity will decrease, but wave energy will increase at the rate of electron motion forms velocity. Yes, you can watch my former videos if you want. Now, this is my formula. Lambda n minus delta lambda, like this. Okay. Wait a moment. N alpha is equal to hc divided by n square lambda n minus delta lambda cosine alpha. Here. Lambda n minus delta lambda cosine alpha. Cosine 0 degree is 0, cosine 0 degree is equal to 1, and delta lambda is equal to delta lambda only. Here. Yes. Think of. This is constant. According to my formula, this is constant. Nanometer voltage. One of my formulas. This is for applied voltage accelerated electron motion form. This is one of my formulas. Now, remember, for all our atoms, we have main electron motion form's wavelength, and it is in initial and not disturbed. Its lambda normal wavelength is, remember, 91.155 nanometer. Say delta lambda is equal to 0. if delta lambda is equal to 0, it means that electron motion form is at rest. Like, think of hydrogen, single electron atom, and proton-bounded electron motion form. Remember, ground state, not disturbed. Or at rest, free but at rest, not relocating, okay? And if I put this wavelength, at rest wavelength, electron motion form, very interesting result is voltage is equal to 13.69 volt. Remember, it must remind you ground state of hydrogen atom, single electron motion forms, ground state energy, 13.6 electron volt. But same, almost these figures are same. Remember, ground state energy is 13.6 electron volt as accepted physics theories mentioned. How can they be same figure? Because of this is volt. You must multiply it by Q, electron volt, or divide something for converting. But here 13.69 volt. And for say ground state hydrogen atoms, single electrons energy, like this, volt, 13.69 volt. Yes. And remember, for an electron motion form, we have, I put forth 2 for each, for any point mass, point energy, okay. It is at rest. Because of this, each point same energy, okay. Say at this point, C direction component energy is, remember, 21.78 joule, and linear velocity direction, my famous 1,884,000 kilometers per second velocity, linear velocity component of energy, 13.66 10 to the minus, not 19, 18 joule, or kilogram meter square divided by second, okay. And if you divide 2 of that like this, 1.6 10 to the minus 1, unitless. There is no charge unit, no charge. No for electron volt, no reason for using electron volt by converting. Because accepted physics theories have only single 9.11 10 to the minus 31 kilogram mass electron and only single energy. And this electron in accepted physics, point particle, it is dimensionless. But according to my theory, electron motion forms have different wavelengths kinds in universe, and for all of our atoms 91.155 nanometer wavelength size electron motion form kind I use usually, and results are not coincidence. Okay, results are coherent. Yes, coherent. Now, remember, this was the result, 21.78 10 to the minus 19 joule is not equal to 13.6 eV. This is the joule, this is the joule. There is no place for electron volt unit in here in my theory, in fact. Okay, these two components, remember. Then, here, two energy components of an at rest electron. Left side here, 21 point approximately 8 10 to the minus 19 joule for C direction. For, think of now, linear velocity direction. Energy component is 2 pi c, means 1,884,000 km per second. 2 pi c kilometer per second. Okay? According to my theory and my formulas. H, Planck's constant, or in fact, angular momentum of electron motion form L. But I wrote here H, not I didn't write L. Yes, I don't want to confuse your mind. Now is equal to linear velocity component of electron motion form is equal to 136.94 10 to the minus 19 joule. Look at that figure. Don't forget this. Look at that figure, okay? This is done. Snapshot here again. Yes. And third part. Yes, this snapshot. We know that. And here, for voltage accelerating by potential, electric potential, accelerating electron, this was my formula, and for 91.155 nanometer at rest electron, this is the result, 13.69 volt. And for at rest electron motion form, linear velocity component energy is 136.94 joule. Look at these figures. Okay? And left side, 1248 nanometer voltage. Okay, and coherence, there is coherence because cancel and voltage. Okay? Cancel, voltage, yeah, nanometer, wavelength. Yes. And here, 1248 3 10 to the minus 28 kilogram meter squared divided by second multiplied by meter divided by second. Here. Same nanometer, same nanometer. Okay? Yes, corresponding. Now, I didn't use electron volt. We don't need, in fact, we don't need. We can use for pragmatism, but deeply. You cannot understand by using electron volt, you cannot understand deeply electron motion forms and its laws or nature laws. Okay? Here. Again, this is my formula for accelerated electron motion form by applied voltage. Here. Then, if delta lambda is equal to 0, it means electron is not accelerated yet. And if delta lambda is equal to 0, lambda n equal to 91.155 nanometer, then voltage is equal to 13.69 volt. This means 13.69 volt is threshold voltage. Unless we increase this voltage, we cannot make the electron gain velocity. Threshold voltage. Like ground state energy of electron motion form. 13.6 eV. And in accepted physics theories, ground state of electrons energy is 13.6 eV. How 13.6 eV can be same figure, almost same figure with voltage? By voltage. Yes, yes, yes. Have a good night. See you later.